There's one trait that as a leader was instilled in me younger. I didn't know it. I didn't understand what was going on at that time, but later in my career, when I looked back, I kind of like, it all started to click for me. I was running a store. I had been promoted from the small store to the A store, and a district manager named Bill Kramer. And we went through kind of a tough period where I didn't make my 2 months in a row, I didn't hit my number. And that wasn't like me. Like I got promoted because I was always hitting my number. I was always beating LY. And Bill Kramer would call me up and he wouldn't call me up and say, hey, what happened? Right? He would call me up and say, hey, Matt, I was just going over the numbers. And he would always start this way. He said, Matt, I know you've been through the numbers. I know you looked at them. I've now been through the numbers. So, hey, this isn't like you. What's going on? Are you okay? Right? He would actually talk to me and talk about me and what's happening because he recognized that I had a skill, I had a talent, and I could do it, but it wasn't happening. And instead of, coming at me with this iron fist, he came at me with that soft glove. Now, when Bill got promoted, obviously because he was a good district manager, and the new guy came in, the new guy was different. The new guy, we turned it around, we hit 5 or 6 months in a row, and then they hit another patch again where we hit a couple. And this guy was very much calling you right away and yelling at you and threatening and kind of like, look, man, if you can't get the numbers done, I can put somebody in there. I've got people ready to take that spot if you don't want it, right? And so I ended up, my whole style and how I handled myself was based out of fear, right? And so I wasn't managing my own people well. And, when customers would come in like, well, I want to think about it. I'm like, no, I want to chase them down. I want to kind of keep them leaving the store in order to do that. And it wasn't until later in my career that I realized what Bill was doing. And it's something that I've always tried to do with my team, right? If you hire talented, creative people and they don't hit the mark, they make a mistake, the project doesn't work, the numbers aren't there, the question isn't, about the position. The question is about the person. That's what empathy is all about. And that's what Bill Kramer taught me, was that empathy that you have to have. And it helped me succeed and improve and do better. He knew me. He knew that I didn't make my number. And I already knew that. In fact, I stayed open till 10:30 one night. We closed at 9, but I stayed open to 10:30, hoping someone else would come by. I could get my number. I could get my quota. I could get there, right? This is a company that didn't care if you missed it by $100 or $10,000. You got the same kind of, treatment. And so if I was just that close, I'd stay open until I could finally get there and do it. And Bill knew that about me. The other guy could care less about that part about me. So if you're somebody who wants to practice empathy within your leadership skills, make sure you're focused on the person and not the position. Don't go say, hey, you've missed your quota two times in a row or 2 quarters in a row, so fix it or you're out of here. Start with, hey, I noticed your numbers haven't been there, not up to your normal performance, right? Not up to your normal performance. What's going on? Is everything okay? Are you okay? Is everything okay with you, right? So you give them the benefit of the doubt that there's something going on that's beyond just what's happening at work, and that you believe in them, you want them in the position when you do that. That's what empathy will do for you. That's what empathy did for me younger in my career. It's what empathy does for me now. It's what empathy can do for you with your team.